Good morning, folks. This is Deb. So before I leave to work, I want to leave to work. Woof. Before I leave for work, I want to get this in. We want to talk about last night's game, a 20-point win over the Chicago Sky. Now, I know the Chicago Sky is a terrible team. Okay, terrible. No question about it. But let's keep in mind that the Indiana Fever are playing without five key players who have gone down to season-ending injury, including the heart and soul of the team, Caitlin Clark. Okay, so this was a big win. So this win now drops their magic number down to 1. All they need to do is beat the Mystics on Sunday. In fact, any combination of a Fever win and a Sparks loss will secure a playoff berth for them. So yes, the game on Sunday is away, but the Fever can win that game. They are fully capable of winning that game. And again, last night, you saw Caitlin Clark on the sideline with her teammates, as she has been all season, with the exception of one game. Okay, and we know that was a family loss. Her boyfriend's, I believe it was her grandmother his grandmother that passed away. So let's talk about some numbers from last night. Kelsey Mitchell and Natasha Howard were relentless last night. So Kelsey Mitchell finished with 20 points, no rebounds, 8 assists. Natasha Howard, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Odyssey Sims, who had we had a little injury scare there, but it was okay. 13 points, no rebounds, 4 assists. Aaliyah Boston, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Lexi Hull, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. And as we have said all season, Lexi Hull, her value to this team cannot be measured by how many points she puts up on the board. She is an unbelievable, all over the floor, great defensive player. Now off the bench, Ariel Powers, 10 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. Damiris Dantas, 7 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Michaela Timpson, who is not permanently benched. Okay, nobody hates her. I believe that she is one of the most athletic players on the team, and she has a bright future with the Indiana Fever. I don't believe she's going anywhere. Okay, she had 4 points, 1 rebound, no assists. Shea Petty, 3 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. And Brianna Turner, 2 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. And when people ask me what Brianna Turner brings to the team, see that rebound number? Brianna Turner is a great defensive player, okay? And, she spends a lot of time riding the pine, as we say. But the fact of the matter is, generally speaking, when they call on her, she shows up. All right? This has happened several times down the stretch run, that Brianna Turner has done her job as required and requested by the Fever. So last night, yes, the Sky was without Angel Reese, who is the rebounding leader in the WNBA, because she received a 1-game suspension for receiving her 8th technical of the year. So at least in some fashion, the refs are working, but not in enough, okay? This is something that must be addressed in the off season. I have been trying to push the petition. It's dying on the vine out there. I've given it a break over the last week or two, and I'm going to start reposting it in groups again to see if we can bring it to life. But, I keep saying this, the teams are complaining, the coaches are complaining, the players are complaining. The fans need to be heard, but posting on social media is not going to do that. It just isn't. They can't follow you on social media. All right? They just cannot follow you on social media. So I'm going to start reposting this again when I get home from work tonight. One other thing that we will be talking about tonight is the new practice facility that is being put up in Indiana. So I'm going to I'm going to share this. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit about it this morning, actually. Seem to have a little bit of time here. So here we are. They broke ground on this yesterday, September 4th. No, day before yesterday, sorry. This is being, now, we have at least one talking head out there saying that Fever is breaking ground on this after scamming the fans this season. Well, you know what? I don't even want to hear that, because when you say that the Fever is scamming the fans, I know what they're talking about. They're talking about the fact that Caitlin Clark is injured and nobody told everybody the truth. Well, we've been through that. I don't know why I have to continue to say this. That's not true. Okay. They told everybody that they were no longer going to consider her day to day. It would be week to week, and whatever it took to get her back on the floor, if they could get her back on the floor, but it was going to be her long-term health that mattered. They didn't scam anybody. Okay. The fact that people continued to come to the games is because Caitlin Clark brought them to the games, and they have stuck around for the team. And that is what you want to have happen. Okay. So end of story. The fan money from this year is not paying for this center. Okay. This center is being paid for by Pacer Sports and Entertainment. The Indiana Fever organization and local leaders helped to do this. They got some grants from people. This is a world-class $78 million facility, a sports and performance center in downtown Indianapolis that will be connected to Gainbridge Fieldhouse by a skywalk. And it is dedicated to female athletes, basically. It's about time, folks, okay? For far too long, female athletes have been relegated to, to the pits. And we keep hearing it. We keep hearing all the digs at the WNBA from a lot of the males out there who are content creators. And quite frankly, some of the women are getting sick and tired of it, okay? You will see that the team is here, okay, as well as the Fever Brass. It's 108,000 square foot, 3-story center. Will open just before the 2027 season. It will have premier spaces for performance and conditioning, recovery and rehabilitation, mental health and wellness, along with lifestyle support. That means there will be childcare, okay? So before we also get into that lifestyle support commentary, I know that people, know that 30% of the league identifies as LGBT. That's not the lifestyle they're talking about. That's not a lifestyle. That's an orientation. I'm just going to make that clear. None of us have a choice in that, quite frankly. And if we did, we certainly wouldn't choose it with the garbage we get from people. So this is what Mel Raines, who's the CEO of Pacer Sports and Entertainment. We are excited to create a performance center specifically for our elite female players that gives them the resources to thrive on and off the court. We are also especially grateful to the city of Indianapolis for its partnership and leadership in helping bring the vision to life. So this was announced. I read about this well before the beginning of this season. This has been in the works for quite some time. So this has absolutely nothing to do with scamming the fans. Okay. Let me see what we have here. Now, this is what Kelly Krauskopf had to say. What we're celebrating today is the beginning of something transformational, an exclusive facility built specifically to support our players at every level, both professionally and personally. The Indiana Fever have always been proud to call Indianapolis home, and as we break ground, we're building upon our city and organization's commitment to being a global leader in women's sports. So I laud that. I think this is a great opportunity, okay? And right now, the team's dedicated practice court is within Gainbridge Fieldhouse, okay? It was renovated in 2020. It is considered one of the best facilities in the WNBA, quite frankly. When you look at what the when you look at what the Connecticut Sun practices in, they are forced to share a court with a local community group. Most of the time, they're practicing on a half court basis, and yet we can't make a sale to the Connecticut Sun so that they can at least practice in a decent facility. At least if they had made the sale to Boston, the offer for the team came with the caveat that they would build them a sports facility, a practice facility. So I laud the city of Indianapolis, but I'm not surprised that they are the leader in this, because they are a basketball town, and they have always been that basketball town. And that is why Larry Bird returned to Indiana to coach and didn't coach in Boston. So that's where we are this morning. We're going to look more at that facility, by the way. Hopefully tonight we'll talk a little bit more about what's inside that facility, because I don't have time to do that right now. We've got a couple of other things on the docket we'll talk about later on. And I will certainly see you guys later. You have a great day, and enjoy yourselves, whatever you do.